It's Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and I want you to meet Danny Martin with me right now. And actually, Danny, this is the first time that you and I are meeting, but we've been in connection on social media because you were one of the hundreds of people who contacted me after Jamie passed away saying, I'm going to go get a colonoscopy. But Danny, the doctors found something when you went in.
Yeah, they did. I did the colonoscopy. Um, it actually, like I said, I mean, when I heard Jamie come on the radio, because I listen to 97.1 all the time. I love 97.1. I love listening to Jamie. Even when he was with the fan before the ticket and all that stuff.
Old school days, yeah.
School days, yes. I'm 48, and so like I've listened to all of them, and like through COVID and everything. I mean, you're hearing people like not showing up, not being on the radio and stuff like that, and it was kind of like, what happened to Jamie? What's going on? Is it a COVID thing or whatever? And then when he finally came out and said, I have colon cancer, and telling people, go out here and get your colonoscopy. Just because you're at a certain age doesn't necessarily mean that you're safe. This could save your life and all that stuff. I called my doctor, who's a family friend and stuff, and he got me in fairly quickly. During COVID and stuff, sometimes things were a little bit longer, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it
fortunately,
wasn't easy for people to get in.
no, and I was very fortunate with that. And I mean, they did the tests and everything, and then they ran some blood tests and stuff after they did the colonoscopy, which was the colonoscopy. I mean, I know a lot of people get afraid of the colonoscopy, but the colonoscopy itself is not a horrible, intrusive thing. I mean, they put you to sleep. So, I mean, it's actually one of the best sleeps that I've ever had. I mean, like you wake up and you're just like, okay.
Agreed.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not as invasive as everybody thinks. So, well, they did some blood tests and stuff, and then they found out, they were like, you have a cancerous tumor in your colon, in your intestine. And I said, okay. And I'm thinking, I'm completely healthy, like I go to the gym, I'm very active, working a lot and all that kind of stuff. Like, how does this happen to somebody, in their 40s?
Yeah.
And it kind of sets you back a minute because you're like, wow, this is real. So, I mean, I had the surgery where they took out a little piece of the intestine, did some radiation treatment and stuff. I'm still fighting this. I mean, this is an ongoing battle, and I mean, I'm doing chemotherapy now. So it is tiring, it is exhausting, but I mean, like I said, if I wouldn't have heard Jamie's story, I wouldn't have thought to really go and do a colonoscopy, because like I said, I mean, you're talking, I was 47 at the time, and you're thinking, what are you really thinking about? I mean, you're not really thinking about cancer at that age, and I mean, Jamie's pretty close to my age.
Yeah, he was.
And and I had the pleasure actually of meeting Jamie probably about 10 years ago,
Oh my
at
gosh.
at a Thanksgiving football game.
Yeah.
So, but it's one of those things where, and I was taken back by him because I mean, his sense of humor is uncanny. I mean, his sense of humor is one of those it's not a raunchy sense of humor. It is more of a, that witty,
Understated,
smart,
sarcastic,
yes,
dry.
very
Yeah.
smart, yes, very dry, very sarcastic sense of humor, but I mean, when I heard his story, like I said, I was taken back because, this is a person that, even though, I'd only met him, the one time, that, you felt like you knew all these people that were in the, at 97.1, because like you're listening to them every day, and you're listening to their family things, and, the things about sports and everything else. And, so like, obviously a few days later he passed away, and it was, that was shocking. And I said, okay, now it's time to really take this seriously. And then like I said, I went and got the colonoscopy, found out that I had it. And I mean, I'm going to screw up the actual term of this. It's leiomyocarcinoma. So, I mean, it was just, I mean, these words that they come out with for cancer are just super, super long, but it's,
you're
like
in it. I mean, you're in the thick of it right now. Stage 3.
Yes, stage 3.
How are you feeling? And then how do you talk to family and I guess other people I mean, I am blown away and blessed that you're sharing this story with me and being so open about it to advocate for other people too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like my family was shocked, because they looked at me and this for me talking to you, Chrissy,
Yeah.
is that other people look at this and they don't look at it as a death sentence. I mean, yes, people do pass away,
Mhm.
but the survival rates are there, and if you keep a positive attitude, and even if, say, God forbid, down the road I pass away from this, for me being able to speak to people and being able to tell people, go get your colonoscopy, this could save you, this could stop you from having stage 3. You could have stage 1, you could have stage 2, and even stage 3 or stage 4, and you can still live a full life, and you can go out here and you can show people that you can continue to live rather than sit here and wallow in self-pity and wait for the grim reaper to knock on your door and say it's time to come home. I mean,
I mean, you're kind of nailing it right there. There are so many people out there, and it's not just colon cancer that
yes,
are suffering with any kind of cancer. That this is the mentality that sometimes, if you're not forced to be in this space, you don't understand. But Jamie every day chose how to wake up and chose how
yeah,
to be, and he was like, we don't know where it goes down the road. I mean, he could have gone into remission. He was
yep,
really close at one point. But he chose each day to say, I'm here today. I feel good enough today to go to work. And
right,
that's how he lived for the entire time, save the 4 weeks
right,
before he died. And
right,
that's, so it's not just the power of positive thinking. I mean, it is cancer and there's modern
yes,
medicine and all sorts of things involved. But, when you're dealing with something like this, it's choosing how to show up each day and what we want to put our energy towards or what we don't want to put our energy towards and say that crap, it's not worth it. This
right.
is the stuff that's important.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, like I said, my whole thing is that Jamie reached out, like, not personally to me, but I mean, he reached out when he came on the radio and was talking about it. And I watched, as the other people in 97.1 were talking about Jamie, and how, like Wojo was saying that, like, how Jamie was saying, I don't know if I'm going to be able to affect anybody or I've touched anybody's life, even when I'm gone. And I kind of laughed at that because I said, I don't think he realized the kind of following that goes on with like 97.1, with everybody reaching out, and like I said, I mean, his message was so powerful because, like somebody like me would have never thought about going to get a colonoscopy. I would have been just a second thought. I mean, I would have probably waited till I was 50, and if I would have waited till I was 50, I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
God reached his arm out to me and put his hand out and said, do this, because Jamie was that vessel that saved me. And without Jamie, I wouldn't be able to be talking to you right now. And I mean, that is one of those things that he does not realize, that how strong he's made myself and other people that have heard him, even though he's gone, his presence and his influence still lives on.
Danny, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I know it'll mean a lot to my kids when they hear it as well. Uh, what do you want people to know this March as we advocate in Jamie's name?
I just want people to go out there and schedule their colonoscopy. I want them to not be afraid of it. I mean, like I said, it's not invasive. It's something that's necessary. It's something that, as people that are thinking like they're in their 40s, that this isn't a big deal. Oh, I'm young, I'm fine, I feel fine and everything. Just because you feel fine doesn't mean that everything's fine. And just to, I mean, people take care of their cars, people take care of their houses, people take care of so many things out there, and they're not really thinking of their health because they're so busy with other things. And I just don't want it to be too late for people. I want them to realize that going to the doctor and getting your checkups and getting your colonoscopy and stuff could save your life. It could, I mean, it could keep you from going through what I'm going through. And like I said, I mean, chemo it's a battle, it's a struggle every day. I mean, there's days where, and I'm sure you've known this through Jamie. I mean,
Yeah, but not
some
firsthand. You're living it.
no, right. No, but I'm saying, I mean, you've seen this where days where Jamie had probably gotten up and he's like, it's not a good day, and he's just kind of laying in bed and kind of like, just trying to get some energy to kind of move around and stuff. And there's days like that, but I mean, for me, like I said, my message is that, Jamie touched my life, he reached out, he saved me, and I'll forever be appreciative of that. And I hope that this message will reach out to somebody and save them, because
Well,
like I said, I mean, we're only here for a short time,
yeah.
and for people to, be able to experience life, especially these last couple of years that have been especially hard for people with COVID and everything else and all the shut-ins and everything,
Mhm.
for me to be able to have this opportunity to speak to you and thank your family, and let you know that Jamie was an incredible person that, like I said, he saved my life, and every day I get up and when I go to chemo, when I'm taking my medication, when I'm going to work, when I feel up to going to work and stuff, I do think of Jamie, because I do listen to 97.1 every single day from 6 in the morning all the way till basically like 5 at night. So,
You're
I
their
mean,
number one listener.
I know. Well, it's funny because I mean, I do tweet a lot, like out to, and I still use a tweetaholic.
Yeah,
So, but I
yeah,
mean, like he even like read out one of my tweets during All-Star break, because I know Jamie was a big baseball fan, a big
oh
San
yeah,
Francisco Giants fan.
yeah.
And I mean, his birthday, I think, is close to mine too. My birthday is August 27th. His is 31st, I believe.
And you said you were diagnosed on your birthday.
I was diagnosed on my birthday.
Well,
So,
Danny, you know what? There's this saying that we also had going through all this was KFG, keep
mhm,
freaking going.
yep.
And every day, we love you. We wrap your arms around you. We pray for you. And I want you to stay in touch. And
I will.
I could, because I'm going to keep dragging you every March out to do this message because it's important. Because again, it's just what you said, one person, two
Yep.
people that
Yeah.
you're making a difference too. So I'm grateful for you and grateful for your time and for your
Well,
health today. Yeah,
can I say one more thing, Christy, before we
absolutely.
finish this? Okay. So,
Absolutely.
like I said, I mean, my whole thing from the bottom of my heart is, like when I reached out to you in the beginning was to show my appreciation and to let you know what an influence Jamie absolutely had on me with him coming out and telling people that he had colon cancer. I mean, it, I'm devastated that he's gone, because I love listening to him on the radio. Um, but like I said, his message is more powerful than he could ever imagine. And for him to be able to come on the radio and to tell people what was going on with him, I mean, like I said, I can't put it into words because he saved my life. And I do appreciate that. I love you. I love your family. I will always have you in my prayers. I hope that hopefully this year, like Tiger game, if they do another Jamie Samuelsen day, I'll be there and I
All
can
right,
give
you
you a
keep us
hug.
posted. Yeah,
And I
I would
mean,
love that.
but I mean, like I said, I mean, it is one of the things that I cannot stress enough how blessed I was to be listening to the radio that day and to hear his story, and it saved my life. So I do thank you and your family for that.
Well, thank you, Danny. We're rooting for you. Okay,
Oh,
every
thank
day.
you.